USCFP has announced Fulbright scholarship for the year 2022. The deadline for application is June the 9th. And like every year, only one thing will stop you from applying, and that is GRE. I get so many questions about Fulbright and GRE that I thought of just making a video for it. I think most of you know that I went for my grad school back in 2015 on Fulbright scholarship. But what you don't know is that I'm not a very good student. I have an average IQ, I don't work very hard. I'm just okay. So how did I manage to win the scholarship then? Did I write an exceptional personal statement? Was my GRE score through the roof? Did I have an inside person in the selection committee? It was none of these. The secret was, I applied. Yes, you need to apply to even be considered. If you don't apply, your chances are zero. And if I, with this face and all the credentials that I have, managed to win the scholarship, you guys definitely have very good chances. So you should apply. You must apply. There shouldn't be a question about it. But something is holding you back. There is one requirement that always comes in your and that submission's way. And that is that nasty exam we know as GRE. The first thing you need to know about GRE is that it's not a monster. People who get decent scores in their GREs, they are regular people like you and me. So take this out of your mind that you're not capable. You're perfectly capable of tackling all kinds of questions in GRE. But at the same time, you shouldn't take it as a regular, casual test because it does require a lot of dedicated effort. I'm not going to talk about what a GRE test looks like, or what are the different parts. I'll paste some links in the description. Rather, I would like to talk about my experience of giving GRE exam, which is not a very good role model to follow, but there are definitely lessons out of it. Most of them are about what not to do. Most of my friends know that I have a very peculiar way of giving exams and tests. I register for the exam first and then start preparing. And mostly I give very less time to my preparation. And it worked perfectly for most of the tests like PMP, Lead AP, CM Lean, a few others. I was good with all of them, but I did the same for GRE, and that was a bad decision. So what happened was that one summer back in 2013, I registered to take GRE on random suggestion of a friend. I had no plans to apply for any scholarship, any university, just a possibility of using it in the future. That was the only reason I registered for the exam. And again, I registered first and I started preparing later. And it was a mistake. You need to always evaluate your time and effort that you think you'll require in the preparation, and then register for the exam, giving the due time and planning it out. So I wouldn't recommend doing it, especially for GRE. But that was still a smaller mistake. The bigger mistake, the blunder I made was that I thought I had it all under control. My total preparation material was a Barron's book and a couple of practice exams that my friend gave me. And I thought that is all I need. So that was a major failure. Now you all must be wondering what was my GRE score. I'll tell you at the end of the video. Let's first discuss what I think a GRE preparation should be like. The first step, according to me, should be to know the test. And by knowing, I mean both understanding the concept behind conducting a GRE and also what a GRE is made of, like what are the different portions: quantitative reasoning, verbal reasoning, analytical writing, the time, the number of questions, the format of questions, just to absorb it all. This will take a couple of days, but you need to do this to really get familiar with what you're going for. After getting familiar with the concept and the format of GRE, and before starting your preparations, the second step I would suggest should be to test yourself where you lie, to know your current condition. And that can be done by solving practice exams, or maybe a single practice exam. Just go for it, and you will learn that you lack in certain areas. Like, you will need preparation in all of it, but there would be certain areas you will feel that you lack more. Some people are good in quant already if they're coming from engineering background especially, but they lack more in verbal. Some people who are in humanities are pretty good in verbal, so they need more effort in the quant side. So understand where you lie by testing yourself. The third step is the main preparation, and the preparation needs to be very well structured and well planned. You cannot be random in it. And one way of being more predictable about how much time you will take is to first prepare for a few days and then see how much time you're really taking in grasping different concepts. So this will help you extrapolate that to the complete period, and you'll have a better estimate for your plan. Also, try to keep buffers. Buffers help, because whatever time you think you'll take, you will take more than that. So those buffers really help you be flexible with your time. The fourth and the final step, according to me, comes right before the exam, and that is to solve as many practice tests as possible. There is nothing better than that. And that works because it not only gives you knowledge about different types of questions, so you can tackle them and nothing comes as a surprise for you, but also gives you the confidence, really. I mean, having the knowledge is one thing, but having the confidence that you're ready, that really changes the ball game. So try to solve as many practice tests as possible. A lot of people also ask me if they should join an academy or a center for GRE preparation. Here's my personal view about it. You definitely need help for GRE. Don't make the same mistake that I made, that you know everything. You don't. You need help. But at the same time, paying a lot of money to go and sit in a classroom is not a great idea either. And I'll tell you why. You see, in a classroom setting, you are being taught everything at the same pace and the same level with everybody around you. But you are an individual with specific needs for your GRE. For example, you might be very good in some quantitative part, but they're instructing you for hours and hours on that. You really don't need that. On the other hand, you might really need attention for some verbal part, and they're not giving enough time for that. So that's why I have nothing against academies, but I believe that they're not as productive as they should be. What I really believe works for GRE prep is mentorship. A mentor, as compared to an academy instructor, is a dedicated person who can give you individual attention that you need. So he or she helps you not only to identify your weak areas, but also devises a strategy for your preparation so you can optimize your results. I learned about mentorship from my friend back in Michigan State who used to mentor students here in Pakistan. And he did such an amazing job. Like, he used to have regular meetings, he used to track the progress, advice on what steps to take. So I was like, there can be no better format for GRE preparation than this. He's a part of an organization called scholarden.com. I'll put the link in the description somewhere. They're amazing people. I know them personally, and they're doing such a wonderful job in helping students get good GRE scores. And they have some of the best mentors who are highly successful students themselves, and there can be no better people to guide you. So I highly recommend scholarden.com. Thank you so much for listening to me, everyone. Fulbright is a great opportunity. It's one of the best scholarships out there. And it's such a shame that so many talented and well-deserving students don't apply only because they don't want to go for GRE. Believe me, GRE is not as big a challenge as you think it is. So you still have more than 2 months. Go for GRE, get past that hurdle, and apply for Fulbright. I wish you all the best. Oh yes, my GRE score. My GRE score, as you know, I didn't prepare much, and it was many years ago. It used to be a good score back then. It was 159 in quant and 148 in verbal. Is it very bad?